What is happening, sports fans? Welcome to No Off-Season Media. I'm your host, Amari Sports, and today's video we'll go over the Week 8 picks. But before I get started, don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to comment and subscribe for more content available, and click the notification bell wherever it may be. Click that and it will notify whenever I post a new video. But anyways, let's get it started. Week 8 kicks off with the Baltimore Ravens traveling to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers are a 1.5 point underdog against the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as an underdog to win this game and to cover against Baltimore. Number one is that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, despite losing to the Carolina Panthers, I really think their backs are against the wall in this Thursday Night Football matchup. And also with the Baltimore Ravens, they are a different team in different halves. In the first half, they are a well put together team, but in the second half, they're blowing a lot of leads. They saw that against the Miami Dolphins, saw that against the Buffalo Bills, and I just can't keep betting again. I got to just keep betting against the Baltimore Ravens. But anyways, I like Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this game. Backs are against the wall. Thursday Night Football game also come off a short week for Baltimore. I really like Tampa in the spot. Tom Brady has something he got to prove, and your division in the AFC South is going up against the Falcons, and I think the Buccaneers will keep pace with the Falcons and win this ball game. I like Tampa to win this ball game against the Ravens. Tampa wins 24-20 over the Ravens. With our last NFL game in London for this season, we have the Denver Broncos against the Jacksonville Jaguars on a neutral field. Jacksonville is a 2.5 point home favorite against the Denver Broncos. In this one, I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this game in the cover. Russell Wilson potentially could be playing this game. I don't think he will due to having some hamstring pulls, but we'll see by today's reports. I think he will play in the ball game. But in this one, Jacksonville is a completely different team whenever they go on the road into London. And in their past couple games that they have played in London, actually has been a really good series for them. Head coach Doug Peterson, I think they'll get ready and right for this game. And I just really like the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Denver Broncos offense, as I said, is atrocious, and I don't think they're going to handle with this Jacksonville Jaguars front seven with that poor offensive line of the Broncos. So I really like the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this game in the cover in London as our last one of the season. I'm going to take the Jags to win, let's say 23-16 over Denver. NFC South matchup, we have the Carolina Panthers traveling to Atlanta to play the Falcons. The Falcons are a 4.5 point favorite at home against Carolina, and in this one I'm taking the Falcons to win in the cover against Carolina. Number one is that the Falcons just came off of pretty much a shellacking loss against Cincinnati Bengals last week, but also number two is that the Carolina Panthers against the rush defensively is not well equipped. I think they're like bottom 8 when it comes to stopping the run, and you know with the Falcons with Marcus Mariota and Tyler Algier, they like to run the ball really heavily, and the Carolina Panthers are not well equipped to do that. But I know a lot of sports bettors are going to take Carolina in this spot, and I'm not very surprised because this line was previously at 6.5. But I think the Falcons are a way better team equipped, and even with PJ Walker starting, I still like the Falcons. The Panthers still look like a better team in my opinion, but I don't think they're going to beat the Falcons in this matchup at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So give me the Falcons to win this ball game against the Carolina Panthers and cover this spread 27-20. Atlanta wins and covers. The Chicago Bears are the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are a 9.5 point favorite at home against Chicago. I'm going to go with the Cowboys to win this game and to cover. The Chicago Bears, despite winning against New England had a very bad quarterback controversy, and the Chicago Bears are able to run the ball all over New England. But in this matchup against Dallas, I think they're running into a buzzsaw. Dak Prescott was back last week against the Detroit Lions, and he played phenomenal, pretty much like a game manager. But in this one with Chicago, I think Chicago has it fared up well in Dallas. I think last time the Bears won in Dallas, I think it was like back in 2010. I'm just going to go with the Cowboys on the safe side. The Cowboys are better defensively than the Patriots. The Cowboys are better offensively than the Patriots. As terms of running the ball, I will take the Cowboys over New England. I know the public side is probably going to be taking the Chicago Bears to cover this number, but you have to also think about that Chicago was on a standalone game on Monday night, and that's the reason why I even like the Cowboys now, because everybody overreacts when you put a team on a standalone game, whether it's Thursday, Sunday, or it's Monday. The line will become inflated, and a lot of the public bet's going to be taking Chicago. I like Dallas to win this game in the cover. I think this probably could potentially be a blowout. Give me the Cowboys to win and cover this 9.5 point spread. Dallas wins 24-13 over Chicago. Miami Dolphins traveling to Motown to play the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are a 3.5 point underdog against the Miami Dolphins, and I'm going to take the Lions to cover, but I'm going to take the Dolphins to win this game outright. Number one is that the Dolphins just came out of a complete physical game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, so I could see some fatigue rolling in with the Dolphins. And they played late in the Sunday matchup against the Steelers. And the Lions, they only scored a total of 0 points against New England and a total of 6 points against Dallas. And in this one, Jared Goff is a better quarterback at home. The Detroit Lions are a better team at home. But I really like the 3.5 because the Lions are well equipped offensively to handle with the Miami Dolphins defense. And I think the Dolphins, as I said earlier, they're going to be pretty much fatigued, and they will probably be overlooking the Lions because after they got the Lions, they got the Bears, and the Bears beat the Patriots on Monday Night Football. So I really like the Dolphins to win this game, but I think Detroit will cover because Jared Goff is well at home compared to when he's on the road like in Dallas or New England or even in Minnesota. So give me the Miami Dolphins to win 30-28 over the Detroit Lions, but the Dolphins fail to cover. Give me the Lions as an underdog. Arizona Cardinals at the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are a 4.5-point favorite at home against Arizona, and I think the Cardinals will cover this game, but I think the Vikings will win this game outright. Number one is that the Cardinals were played on Thursday Night Football, so now they got 10 games rest to think about the Vikings. But what also makes me want to take the Cardinals because the Cardinals are better on the road than compared to at home. But also the Vikings are coming off their bye week after beating the Miami Dolphins the week prior. And this one, Kirk Cousins, I don't know how he is on off these bye weeks and everything, but I don't know how these Sean McVay-led teams are, but they really don't do well off the bye week, especially against an opponent that Kirk Cousins has struggled with, whether it was against the Cardinals, as in previous times he has played the Cards, he has always lost. So I really like the Vikings in this matchup to win, and also defensively for both these teams are pretty much putrid. In this instance, I like the Vikings defensive front to manhandle the Cardinals offensive line, which will make Kyler scramble around and find DeAndre Hopkins, which I have to allude to. The Cardinals look better with DeAndre Hopkins in the lineup than they do without him. So give me the Minnesota Vikings to win this ball game with Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and Kirk Cousins, and Dalvin Cook to win this ball game against the Arizona Cardinals. Give me the Vikings to win. I have the score as 29-26 over Arizona, but the Vikings fail to cover the spread. Las Vegas Raiders at the New Orleans Saints. The Raiders are favored by 2 points against New Orleans, and I'm going to go with the Raiders to win this game in the cover. The Raiders, they started pretty bad. We were like, 0-3, and then they won their fourth game against the Denver Broncos, and since then, they almost beat the Chiefs, and they just manhandled the Texans after their bye week. And in this one, I'm just going to take them to beat the Saints. In NOLA, I'm sorry, but the Saints, I think it's pretty much give up mode. Whether it's Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston, I'm just gonna go take the Raiders. The Raiders are the better team. Josh Jacobs is looking phenomenal here. The Raiders have pretty much owned the Saints in the last couple meetings. The last time they went down to New Orleans, they won by 1 point. The score was 35-34 back in 2016, and then the other one prior they played in 2020 down in Vegas, and the Raiders won that by double digits. So I'm gonna go and take the Raiders to win this ball game against New Orleans. Always have their number. I'm gonna take the Raiders to win 34-30 over the NOLA Saints. AFC East matchup, we got the New England Patriots traveling to the Meadowlands to play the New York Jets, and the Patriots are a 1.5-point favorite on the road against the Jets. I'm going to go with the Patriots to win this game in the cover. Bill Belichick looked completely off on Monday Night Football, and this is another reason why I want to take New England. I think Mac Jones will start against the New York Jets, but also with the New York Jets, they just lost 2 offensive key starters in Breece Hall, their running back, and Elijah Vera Tucker, their guard. I like this to be a defensive heavy game, whereas between Mac Jones and Zach Wilson, Bill Belichick will have a scheme for Zach Wilson and how to make him turnover prone. And also with the Patriots, Robert Saleh will do something to confuse Mac Jones. But I think this game will be very, very low scoring. This will be a typical AFC East matchup, defensive in the trenches. I'm going to take the Patriots to win it outright because that's what Belichick does. You got to hammer it. Take New England in this spot. I'm going to take the Patriots to win 20-13 over the Jets. The Battle of Pennsylvania. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are an 11-point favorite at home in Lincoln Financial Field against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going with the Steelers and the points, but I think the Eagles will win this game outright. The reason why this game is at 11 points is because the Eagles look great on a standalone game against the Cowboys. And this is the exact reason why I even like the Steelers. Mike Tomlin plays well against a double-digit underdog. And when he played against the Buffalo Bills, yes, he got shellacked, but everybody gets shellacked by the Buffalo Bills. In this one, the Eagles are coming off their bye week. We saw last year when they come off their bye week, they're completely sluggish. I just really like the Steelers in this matchup. Kenny Pickett is going to learn from his mistakes. He threw 2 game-losing red zone interceptions, and this is what happens with the Steelers. You're going to have to go through some growing pains. The Eagles are a fast start team in the first half, but in the second half, they simmer down and they try to run the clock out. That's what they've been doing in the past couple games, and that's another reason why I like the Steelers. I think the Steelers will come back in the second half and have a backdoor cover, and I think the Eagles will win this game outright. Give me the Eagles to defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have the Eagles winning 26-20 over the Steelers. The 4 o'clock window, they have the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans in the AFC South matchup here, and the Tennessee Titans are a 2-point favorite on the road in NRG Stadium against the Texans. And I'm going to take the Titans to win this game in the cover. Houston has one of the worst rushing defenses in the league. Derrick Henry is one of the best rushing running backs in the league. That smells trouble for Houston, and that smells glory for Tennessee. And I'm going to be taking the Titans in this matchup. Also with Houston, it's time to move off Davis Mills. Yes, he played well against the Raiders, but everybody plays well against the Raiders unless your name is Russell Wilson. But in this one, I like the Titans. Give me the Titans to win 28-21 over the Houston Texans. This was a revenge game, and now it's just a game I don't even know what to call. And this one is the Washington Commanders against the Indianapolis Colts. Sam Ehlinger is going to get the start in this one against the Washington Commanders, and the Colts are a 3-point favorite at home against Washington. I am going to take the Colts to win this game in a cover. In this one, the Colts just have a better team than the Washington Commanders. Taylor Heineke or Sam Ehlinger, I think they're going to run the ball with Jonathan Taylor, the Colts I'm talking about here. And I think their goal based off of play action plays, and their defense is what's going to stop the Washington Commanders from scoring any points. And in this one, it's very easy for a rookie like Sam Ehlinger to get implemented in the system. And I think the Colts will win this game outright. Give me the Colts to win 20-17 over Washington. The battle in the NFC West, the San Francisco 49ers against the Los Angeles Rams coming off their bye week. San Francisco is a 1.5-point favorite down in SoFi against those Rams. I'm taking the 49ers to win this game and to cover against the Rams. The 49ers have always had the Rams number. Kyle Shanahan knows how to outcoach Sean McVay. The only time that the 49ers have lost to the Rams since the Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay rivalry head-to-head was back in 2017 and the NFC Championship game where the Niners blew it. But in this one, Christian McCaffrey is going to have more snaps in this ball game. The 49ers defense, despite letting up 44 points to the Chiefs, they're going to simmer down and lock it down against the Rams, whose offensive line is pretty awful. I'm just going to go ahead and say that up front. Matthew Stafford will probably throw a couple interceptions in this game. He does have more interceptions than touchdowns. In this one, he has 6 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. And in this one, I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers. As history repeats itself, Kyle Shanahan gets the best of Sean McVay. Give me the San Francisco 49ers to go into SoFi and win and cover the spread. Niners win 23-20 over those Rams. The New York Giants at the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are a 3-point favorite at home in Lumen Field with Geno Smith. In this one, the public will be betting high on the Giants. But I like the Seahawks in this matchup, not even despite having DK Metcalf out for this game, potentially with a knee injury. But in this one, Kenneth Walker, the rookie running back who they drafted, is looking like Offensive Rookie of the Year. The Giants last week were struggling against Travis Etienne, and I'm going to take the Seahawks to win this game. Geno, you getting the letters. He's not writing back. I like the Seahawks in this matchup against that Giants defense who struggled against Travis Etienne and will struggle against Kenneth Walker. So give me the Seahawks up in Lumen Field in the Northwest. Give them to win this ball game. I like Seattle to win 28-23 over those Giants. Sunday Night Football, we have the Green Bay Packers against the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are 11.5-point favorite at home against the Packers. The public is going to be betting heavily on this Bills team, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. The Packers, whenever they play good teams, they kind of go into the little shell like they're a turtle and don't like coming out. And that's how it is. The Packers like beating up on bad teams like you saw against the Chicago Bears, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are now under 500, and the New England Patriots. And also, with some history, the Green Bay Packers have never beaten the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. So I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills to beat the Packers by this insane margin of 11.5. Give me the Buffalo Bills to win this game and a cover. The Buffalo Bills win 31-17 over the Packers. And last but not least, on Halloween night with Halloween colors, we have the Cincinnati Bengals against the Cleveland Browns, Battle of Ohio. The Cincinnati Bengals are 3.5-point favorites on the road in the dog pound at First Energy Stadium. I'm going with the Browns to win this game and call it an upset. The Browns will win this game. Number one is that the Browns, since 2018, they have lost only one game to the Cincinnati Bengals. So which means is that the Cleveland Browns have won 7 out of the last 8 meetings against Cincinnati. The last time they lost was back in 2019, and I think week 16, 17, the last game of the season against the Bengals, which they had nothing to play for because they're out of playoff contention with Baker Mayfield and OBJ. So I like the Browns here. The Bengals have trouble stopping the run, aka they have trouble stopping Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I think this happens again on Halloween night. I don't see a way the Bengals could win this game, but give me 3.5 with the Cleveland Browns. I'm taking it straight up. Cleveland should have won last week. If it wasn't for some fluky referee calls, they either would have beaten Baltimore or probably went to overtime with Baltimore. So I really like the Cleveland Browns to win this game and to upset the Cincinnati Bengals. So give me Cleveland to win this game against Cincinnati and get 1-0 in this Battle of Ohio. Give me the Browns to win 26-24 over the Cincinnati Bengals. And that is all for my spread picks, sports fans. I will talk to you later. I hope you enjoy my picks. Go out and win out some money out there. Thanks for listening to my advice. This is your host, Amari Sports, signing off. I'll catch y'all later. Peace. Hey, I know you see that subscribe button, and I know you see that notification bell. Why don't you just click it? Go ahead. And if you want to tune into more videos, just go ahead and look at this new video that I just posted right here, or go see some of my playlists on this channel.